Hi, welcome to day 2. Today I'm going to get a little bit nerdy on the science behind how Rossiter works and how it is so different from the other modalities. So what we know through studying, we started to really start to learn about fascia in about the late 80s. And we're learning so much more and more and more. So the fascia is so much more than just the little tendons and ligaments, right? It is a 360 matrix. It is the space in our body. Each and every muscle fiber is connected by this connective tissue or fascia, if you've heard it as that. It is the space in the body, and your nervous system intertwines through it. Your bones sit in it. So without the fascial system, we would just be a pile of bones and nervous system on the ground. So it's so much more important. It's actually how every single cell in our body gets water. So one other great way for us to kind of visualize how the fascia works is if we have a sponge. Our muscle fibers are that sponge. And when we have a sponge that gets dry and brittle, it cracks and it's really easy. And that's how muscle tears can happen, right? But when we have that sponge and it's supple and it's full of water, you can bend it and try to tear it as much as you can, and you can't tear it. One of the things that happens when we use a pattern for a long time, whether it be your right foot, and if you take your right step every single time, you end up with, over a lifetime, you've probably taken a couple thousand extra steps on that leg, stood on that leg a little bit more because it's your dominant. You're slowly going to compress that fascia. Your body's going to send collagen into that area. And it's kind of like taking that sponge and like immersing it in glue. And now water can't go back in and create that supple sponge anymore. So that muscle fiber can no longer absorb, the cells can no longer get water in the very literal sense. And that's when muscle fatigue happens. That's when spasms happen because there's a lot of tension pulling on the opposite side. And that's when it's really hard to recover. So, an increased injury, right? So, being able to, like yesterday, diagnose where the pain's actually coming from so that we can take the pulley system out, that tug of war out, and create that alignment in the body, then we can also understand how we're addressing the ability to continue to recover. All of those fascial layers in our body are kind of like shower curtains. When we have those plastic shower curtains and they have water between them, they just slide around super easy. But as soon as those shower curtains lose the water in between, they get stuck together. And unfortunately for us, in our fascial system, there's nerves in between that. So as we're slowly, when there's no space, that's our nervous system is like, ouch, pain signals, because the nervous system is being impinged on and it needs help. So we're going to go in with Rossiter and we're going to create space in between back to its healthy amount of space, which means it's going to slide and glide, and all that water is going to naturally go in there. It's going to give the cell water. One other thing that's really important to note is, for this to happen, to create space in the fascial layers, to get the water in between those layers, you need heat, you need compression, and you need this really scary word, shearing. Shearing is actually the rotational movements. So we need applied weight into one area. We need heat, which is the transfer of my body heat to your body heat. It's going to warm up and change those fascial fibers like silly putty. If you try to take silly putty cold and change it, it breaks. It's not pliable. But as soon as you warm it up, you can mold it in whatever way. Another thing we know is that when we're with any overuse pattern, we build collagen in very specific patterns. So I'm talking about like a soccer player, when they're bounding side to side, and their legs, they're going to get more fascial adhesions this way, which is ultimately not great for longevity. It's great for when they're jumping side to side, but all throughout the day, they're going to have all this tension externally rotating their knees, and it's going to cause a lot of wear and tear on their knees. So when you're consistent about getting in there. You're going to have the strength to keep your knees safe, but you're not going to have the overuse pattern that our body has put in there that's going to then wear out the joints, that's going to cause the pain, that's going to make it easy to blow out your knee the opposite direction. All of these things, as long as they're not overwhelming, our body is always looking out for us. And now we know how to take care of it even more. We have never known that we needed heat, compression, and shearing. There has never been anything like Rossiter. Rossiter was created by a master rolfer. We keep learning about the fascial system. We keep learning how to support it better. Life does not need to be lived with pain. Richard Rossiter is 75. Actually, he might be really happy about that. I think he's getting close to 78. And I just saw him last year and he said he's completely pain-free. He has not been in pain because he's known these facts. This is something that pain is not inevitable. Pain is just something that we need to then learn how to evolve and help take care of. So especially if you're pretty early on, it's a great way for us to keep you from trailing that path. And if you've been on the pain journey for a long period of time, I feel for you. Let us help you, and I can't wait to see you soon. If you are ready to schedule, I will drop a link below. You can just click the button where you could schedule online right now, or I'll also give you information on how to call us, text us if you have any questions, as well as some links for our website if you want to do some more research. All right, my friends, I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.